What's going on, Minecraft fans? My name is Shiloh, and welcome back to Minecraft Temples March of Days. It's part 20 of the series, so you know what that means. I'll see y'all in day 58.
And here I am, day 58, story day, starting with some Wither fighting training, making sure I hone in my skills when I fight the Wither on day 75, which is still really far away. Not far, far away. Star Wars isn't relevant anymore. Unless you're Battlefront 2, get out. Even though Battlefront 3 apparently ain't happening, EA don't want it for some reason. They really hate money. But, anyways, so after a bit of bow, I switched to my sword, doing the sword jumps since that has increased damage. Now for the Wither, I don't think I'll actually be doing sword jumps, but it's still good to do sword jumps just in case for anything. Anyways, I Fortnited up and then went back to my bow, shooting faster than a hooker can give someone a drink. So yeah, I kept peppering it with my Infinity Bow and then Fortnite up some more because zero builds for losers, which makes you a golden gully. Anyways, I continue to plague this thing with more bullets, spamming way more than any Mortal Kombat spammer with button mash could ever do. But anyways, I went back to my sword, doing sword jumps, checking to make sure that my clip isn't get good too long. I then decided to pretend that I'm blocking the water hits, since I do think you could actually do that. If I am wrong, this is more misinformation than everyone on Twitter. But after I bet, I decided to get back my wood. It's always good to reuse, especially in Minecraft when you're low on stuff. Even though I'm never actually really low on wood, it's still good. I went back to my sword hits. Now, I was not imagining what health was, but I was just spamming it because I know that no matter what actually health it is, by the end of the clip, it's going to be quote unquote dead. More so than most people's soul on Twitter. But, so yeah, after a lot of pretend blocking hits, I went back to my sword, where with the last bit, I pretended that with this bow shot, I slayed the beast. And when my last bit, I took off the head to wear it just like I would always do with the Ender Dragon. Unfortunately, this is less cool, but it doesn't matter. Now, in the sunset of day 58, I was in the Nether practicing fighting with real Wither skeletons. The closest thing to a Wither I'll ever get. Now, I got way too much. So much that, while fighting them with my enchanted armor and stuff, my pants was getting completely shredded from these guys. That's mean to literally run into my blaze area, or I forgot to break the other torches over this to make sure that blazes wouldn't attack me while I was training against Wither skeletons for the Wither. But anyways, so after I've managed to fix that issue, the Withers were too much and I died. But since this is in a hardcore mode, I simply ignored that oversight and went back to the Nether for round 2. Quickly getting back to where I was, but let me tell you, man, these were the Wither skeletons were so strong they broke my enchanted leggings. Yeah, I overdid it, but after I claimed defeat in the night of 58, I went back to where fighting the Wither and making the area a little bigger. I know, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure claustrophobic this helped the Wither not go away so much, but it's just more for me when I actually have to run in there just in case, make this area bigger so I have more ground to run on, so the Wither, and besides, this is underground, so I'm pretty sure the Wither can't escape even if it wants to. So yeah, I spend all this with my nice enchanted diamond pickaxe, making sure this area was big for me to make the fight way better and less claustrophobic. I'm not a claustrophobic guy. I hate when things are so close, like things are like hanging on my neck. It's just so uncomfortable or scary. Like if I was in a tight cave, I'd be scared for my life. Like I don't know how people can be doing that. Like, you're crawling inside of tight caves. What do you, like, bro? If you want to crawl into tight places, get a girl. But, anyways, so yeah, it was really nice and relaxing doing this and not thinking about Sonic, which I've been doing all day, especially this one track from Sonic Colors called Sugar Armenta appears. I don't know the second word, but it's a different rendition of Eggman's theme song from Sonic 06. I've been listening to it on repeat because of how the trumpets go. It's really satisfying, even though that cutscene appears and it's cringe as all hell with Sonic's cockiness being cranked up to fucking Narnia levels of annoying. Whatever though. So I carved out this little bit left because I only made it wider, not huger. So I made sure to quickly fix that. And with me being done for the clip, I went to sleep in my underground black bed because it's all about the weather here. Black, black, black. So in day 59, base change day. And this is, once again, another small one since I can't go too big because, God forbid, I have to move my armor stand again to make the thumbnail even wider. So this simple thing was just adding more to these little pillars I made from the last part, which leads to a lot of falling again because being clumsy is one of my portfolios for my YouTube channel. It's never more funny than seeing someone fail miserably at the most simplest of things, called a Marvel move, if you will, or called every 2010 Sonic story move, but or just call it a Halo Studio move because no one could ever explain why Infinite didn't have a Team Slayer game mode at playlist at launch besides UI limitations, which no one fell for. So yeah, the way I was doing it was that if a pillar had the one color, I would just fill up with the same color. Or if it was mix and match it fill in. So think of like chocolate and white and black shirts, but it's just more bigger and does not look as fresh as you would think it would. Since Minecraft's graphics are about as good as a Windex or Minesweeper. But so yeah, I did this. Risky, so I could actually show most of it on camera. Camera. What this happened? Oh, I thought my screen froze or something. Um, sorry. So yeah, I did this while making minor mistakes that didn't take away too much time, but it is embarrassing that I make mistakes like this. But it just happens, man. So yeah, I just did this. It was pretty relaxing. I wish I played music while doing this still because this is a little boring. Whatever though. Sunset, ignore that on your screen. I continued from where the last clip ended. With now, of course, the little risk of monsters messing up. Luckily, that with the amount of twitches I have here, the only time a mob would spawn would be actually at the bottom, which was revealing. I should stop revealing so early in advance. But a mob did spawn from below me. Thanks to all the torches here. You'll know what it is once it starts to annoy me a little bit. But yeah, with the sunset one, I was being way more riskier than the day one for whatever reason. And I was actually doing a pretty good job of being unnecessarily risky. While I was in it, I kept thinking about this one FNAF fan game sequel called The Night of Creation, a fan-made sequel on the joy of creation. It's a really good fan game, fan-made thing. Unfortunately, for now, it's not a video game. It was only a gameplay movie on YouTube, but he's rebooted the thing and it is going to be a video game. Though the guy that made it isn't making the game, his friend is because he's doing other stuff that I don't really know. But from what I've seen, the game's in good hand. And he's probably like Scott Coffin. He's overseeing things, making sure it all goes well, and whatnot. But back to the video. So after that skeleton shot me down the mob I was hinting at, I quickly went back up to continue where I left off. Wonder if the skeleton would interrupt me again. Luckily, though, it did not. Skeleton grew a pair instead of blue balls. It nearly got me there, but it didn't. So yeah. And so for the final clip in the deadest of dead nights, I finish up the part I was right here with. Really hoping that skeleton wouldn't shoot at me again. I don't think it did. I don't exactly remember, but yeah, I try to go even. I try to go faster on this one. Make sure the crouches was on the barest of minimums, or just not at all actually. And you can see it's going well. I know exactly where that ended off. I don't fall and waste time. And I have so much stacks of brown terracotta, you think you can fill an entire landmine with it. But here's what you need to know, kids. Not everything can be filled. Sometimes you need to just let it not be filled. Do not make it sound gay. It's general advice. Anyways, a creeper came out of nowhere, and I really want to know where it came from. But after a little bit of a bear's fall, I went to my cave bed to sleep the night away. And now day 60, combat day, the real combat. Fighting against my usual stooges with newly enchanted leggings. Everything else was the same. Surprisingly, this one was a bit of a harder than I expected. You know, especially when they were shredding my armor like crazy with the wither skeletons. Matter of fact, they shred my armor worse than the wither skeletons because at least with that I kept everything. But with this, how much they were aggressively attacking, completely shredded everything I've done. You know, it was just really good. Like mobs, I guess they really buffed the mobs for some reasons. The mobs, when they overrun you now, it's so stressful if you take a lot of damage or very little damage. Also, I think I was mistaken about these guys breaking my diamond legs. So I just said they were new, so how would they? I just say stuff because I remember something, but it's too late now. It can just label it as misinformation. Because, just know though, my copyrights lawyers will come for you, so... Oh, I wasn't lying. Yeah, they broke my legs. New legs, and they broke it with how much they were hitting me. And the skeletons, the spiders were being oddly annoying this time around. Like, baby zombies were hardly anywhere to be found, which is crazy to say that since these things pop up like and hot blinks on a site. But after seeing the light and leaving it like Kratos did in God of War 1, 2, and 3, I was not taking that L like with the wither skeletons. I'm making sure that W was secured through and through. So I got another pair of backup legs and charged back in like Game of Thrones Season 8. But unlike that, I didn't flop and lose half my followerships. I gained aura, Jin Moon style. So yeah, I slayed the rest of these vile beasts And with proudness in my heart, I ended the day.
And that, Minecraft fans, is the end of Minecraft Temples Part 20. Hope you enjoyed this part of Minecraft Temples. If you just subscribe, like, bell, come notify, go on my friends, my socials in the description, and I'll see y'all in the next part in maybe 2 weeks. Peace.